baby, this country living made me think I never wanna see the light. Yeah, we talk slow, most of us poor, but I think I found paradise. Now, baby, this country living made me think I never wanna see the light. Yeah, we talk slow.
Hello, this is Monty with Country Living. I've got a rear differential seal leak. It's at my CV axle, and I'm going to show you how to change the rear differential seal. You see the gear oil all the way around the CV axle, and so what you'll need is a 32mm socket to break loose the nut on the CV axle, a 12mm to break loose and remove the brake caliper, and once you do that, you just pull on your brake rotor and it comes out. You'll need a 19mm and a 17mm to break those bolts loose, same on the bottom. And once you break that loose, it comes on off. Then you yank on the arm of the CV axle, but before you yank on the arm, you need to drain the differential fluid. And I'll show you on another video how to drain the differential fluid. So just hang out with me and I'll show you how to do it. And I will say this, to do all this, it does have to have an impact. You don't have to have one, but it helps. Alright, well, I've got the brake caliper off, and again, it's a 12mm bolts, 2 of them, and I've got the brake caliper off. I've got the CV axle nut off. Now, you'll just take a hammer, hit right here, and to break loose the rotor. Once you break loose the rotor, you just pull on it. Once you pull it out, you take your impact, and you take a 19mm here, a 17mm here, and you undo the 2 bolts, one on the top, one on the bottom, and after that, the spindle comes off, and then you yank on your CV axle rod right here, but make sure you drain your differential fluid first. You don't have to have an impact, but it helps. It definitely helps. Alright, well, I've got the 2 spindle nuts undone, the 2 spindle bolts undone, and I've already knocked and pulled the rotor off. So the only thing you should have to do now is just pull the spindle off. See, that simple. So now you got 2 options. On your bearings. I'll make a separate video, but still okay. Normally, if I was ready to grease my bearings, I'd pull ahead and pull off this seal right here and pull off this seal right here, and then there's a plastic cap on each side up underneath the seals where the bearing is actually at. You can take it, pry that little plastic cap off. You have to take a little bitty knife and just make sure you don't damage it, and just pry it off. Then you take some grease, whatever kind you want to use, marine or red tacky, and just kind of start packing the bearing back down. And once you pack it back down, you just put it back all together and do the same to the other side and roll them, so you make sure you get the grease all in there good, and then that way it saves you from having to replace your bearings later on. Alright, well now I'm at the part to pull the CV axle out, so I'll pull it out after I drain the differential fluid, and I'll make a video on showing how to drain the differential fluid. Alright, well I got the CV axle out, and there's my differential seal. It's covered in oil. And it's not because it was overflowing when I pulled it out. It's because it's blown. Because I'm draining it as we speak. So, in order to get this out, in order to get the differential seal out, take the pry bar, put it right here, and you start just prying and working on it to get it out. Alright, I'll show you what it looks like when I get it done. Alright, well, there's your old differential seal, and there you have the differential. So the only thing I gotta do now is clean it back up, put the seal in place, and be good to go to put it back together. But alright, be back at it for a while. Alright, well, I got the CV axle back in, spindle on. So now to do the rotor, you got to be careful with it because you got those splines, plus you got threads. So make sure when you put it back on, you do not mess up the threads or the CV axle shot. So the threads are good. We're good to go. Put it all back together, and so it should be ready. Alright, I've got it all back together. I've got the CV axle done, got the brake rotor done, the caliper on, spindle on. So if you have any questions, please ask. And again, this is Monty with Country Living. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.